safety. Can we welcome the one of the Sirtified production?
Thank you so much, everyone. You can sit. Let's have a seat. Thank you so much. I didn't get your name. What's your name? Yemi. It's like Yemi or Demi before I leave here today. Wow, so it's really nice being here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the pastors of this church, Light Life Church, right? Yes, thank you so much to the pastor for making this happen. It's not something that you see happen everywhere. When you say you want to do a media boot camp, they will ask you why. What is it for? So I think your pastor deserves a round of applause for this. And to the media unit for making this, for planning this and putting this together. I know how difficult it can be to plan something like this as a media team. So let's also give them a round of applause for putting this together. And to all of you that are here, making our time to be here, give yourself a round of applause also. All right, thank you so much. Today, my session is going to be on live streaming. I've shared a slide with the media team. Yes, so I called it Livestream Guide 101 because it's going to be the basics. I really tried to make this thing so simple and basic. I took my time to break down the things that I feel like, the foundation that you need to understand. This class is going to be an interactive class, so I'm going to expect everybody to respond and interact with me. I'm going to be asking questions during the sessions and all that. So is that fine with everybody? Yes. All right, thank you so much. What's live streaming? According to Google, live streaming is when a stream video is sent over the internet in real time without first being recorded and stored. And everybody knows nowadays that live streaming has evolved a little bit. People now, I don't know if you guys do something like that, where you record your pastor and you stream it again later. I don't know if you guys do. So are we going to call that live streaming also? Because ideally, live streaming is supposed to be in real time. It's supposed to be happening while you are there or while the presenter is there. But now we have this recording and playing again. So it brought about the question of what happens if a video was pre-recorded and later streamed as though it were live. And they call that simulated live, that is simu-live. This is the industry term for pre-recorded content that is scheduled and streamed to look like a live broadcast. So it's still a live broadcast, but this time it's a simulated live broadcast. I am doing this definition so that we can have an understanding of what live streaming is. And most of the times, when I ask people what is live streaming, they just say it's to go live on. When you ask them, they say it's to go live on TikTok, it's to go live on Instagram, it's to go live on Facebook. Even with our phones now, anybody can go live. Abi, you can pick up your phone now and just turn on your TikTok, Facebook, as long as you have a social media account and go live. Yeah, so, but there's really more to this thing. There is more to it if you are going to do it professionally. And as a church, I won't expect that you want to go live, you just bring out your phone and go live. There are some basic things that you need to set in place. You need your cameras, you need your sound card, you need your laptop, you need your software. So those are the things we'll be going into, the basic things that you need to get in place to live stream. Now, I also need to make mention that this is, like I said, is live streaming 101. I don't know if there's maybe any professional in the house or someone that is familiar with live streaming, but I'm doing this so that anybody that does not have an idea of what live streaming is can have at least 70% knowledge of how to set up a live streaming. Is that good? All right, so we'll be moving forward to page 4, how to set up a live stream. So I did a diagram. I came up with a diagram. I came up with something. If you can look at this, you see that it has a flow from the camera. There's another dot, then down, and the middle and all that. So this is basically all what we're going to be talking about today. So the first thing here is a camera. If you want to go live, you need a what? You need a camera. You needing a camera is when you want to go live with a video feed. Nowadays, you can go live with MixLR, which just audio, right? But to go live with a video feed, you need what? You need a camera, whether webcam, whether DSLR camera, whatever camera that you can afford. The main point is what? You need a what? You need a camera. Before I go further, I also want you to have something at the back of your mind when it comes to live streaming. And that thing is a simple trick that I've always used and it has always helped me. It's called knowing your input and knowing your output. For every input, there's an output. And to get an output, you need a what? You need an input. So always have that as at the back of your mind. You're going to need it throughout. Whatever you are plugging in, there should be what? There should be a result. There should be what? An output. So that's why I did this diagram like this, so that you can see that it's moving, right? So what are the type of camera that you need? First of all, the basic requirement for a camera, it must be able to provide what? A clean feed. Now, what's a clean feed? A clean feed is simply when you turn on your HDMI output, and when you turn on your camera, you see some things. You see the battery life, you see the display, all those icons on the camera display. By the time you turn on your HDMI, you shouldn't be seeing them what? In your output. So that's what they call what? A clean feed. So clean feed is simply having a clean display from your camera input to your output. It necessarily does not mean that you might not see all these icons on your camera. You can still see them on your cameras. You can still see your battery life. You can see your memory card, maybe time remaining, white balance, all the settings we see on camera now. You can still see them, but make sure that whatever is going out is what? Is clean. A very typical example is when it comes to autofocus. I see some, of course, I know that everybody has the level at which they operate. Not everybody can afford these high-end cameras. But sometimes when I check some live stream and I see this autofocus thing tracking, like when the minister is moving, then you now see this box on their face. I already know that, these people are using the what? They're using the DSLR camera. That's maybe like Canon 19D, Nikon, thereabouts. And these cameras can't do what? They can't provide a what? A clean feed. So they just manage it, but of course it's not professional. It doesn't look neat. Having somebody ministering and you're just seeing this box following the person like it's an eyeglass or something. So, so the first requirement before you buy any camera, ask them, can this camera give me what? A clean feed. It's simple. It's not too much English. So it's either yes or no. There's no one that can give semi-clean feed. It's either yes or no. So if they tell you that no, leave the camera. If they tell you yes, go ahead to buy the camera. So the next thing you'll be looking out for also is what? Does this camera support HDMI or SDI output of at least 1080p? We've gone beyond the era where everybody now watches videos on Nokia's 3310 or all those small phones. If I ask everybody to bring out their phones right now, I'm sure everybody is using maybe iPhone 14 or Techno 14 Pro. I'm sure the least one I'll see is maybe iPhone 13. Now imagine watching a 360p video or 240p video on that kind of phone. It won't even look appealing to you. So basically, at least the minimum you go for live streaming is 720p, and 720p itself is just manageable. What you should always aim for is what? 1080p. So always ask, this camera can it, because some cameras can record 1080p, they can record 4K, but they might not be able to output 1080p. We have some camcorders that their output are not full 1080p, it might be 720p. So don't just assume that, and one thing about these vendors is that they know how to hide things. Don't worry, this camera is 4K. They will tell you it's 4K, direct, 4K. So, but you need to ask them that, okay, because, you are not just focused on recording. Your main focus is what? On live streaming. That's why I'm bringing out all these questions. Ask them, can you output a clean 1080p? They call it a full HD. Can you output a full HD from this camera? And they should be able to tell you yes. That some cameras can even output 4K, but don't let us go there yet. So just stick to 1080p. But if you can get a camera that outputs 4K, I mean, why not? You can go for it. Get the camera that can give you 4K. But the least you should also always look out for is 1080p. So the next thing you want to look out for is how long does it run on power and what are the power options. Now that's another vital thing you have to look out for when you're buying a camera, because most of the cameras that uses battery like this, they last maybe 30 minutes, 25 minutes if they are on. And imagine your church service, at least maybe 2 hours, or at least maybe, or okay, I believe that, okay, God blesses you guys. You guys want to do like a crusade, and it's an overnight crusade. How many batteries do you want to change for an overnight crusade? So those are the things you need to factor in. This camera, how long does it run on power? And is there a power adapter option? Is there a battery dummy option? For example, Blackmagic, Blackmagic has what they call the AC adapter. So what that simply means is that you can plug it directly to a power source. So if you like, run your crusade for 4 days, as long as there is light, your camera is on. There's what they call dummy battery too. So what dummy battery simply means is that you plug the battery into your camera, but it comes out with like a cable, and you just plug it to. So I won't advise that you plug a dummy battery to power. You can get a power bank or a big vlog battery that has a USB, plug it. Because the reason why I won't advise that you plug it directly to light is because the light source, the power you're getting from your light source, the volts, the energy, the power might be too high for your camera. Because if you look at these batteries, they are small, so they are not built to. The camera is not built to take in that much power. I'm speaking from experience because we have seen like cameras spoil in my eye. Why? Because we ignore. It has happened yet. So, these are the little things that you would not know, but experience will teach you. Now, I'm sure that the person that have done that kind of thing now, next time, if you see somebody who's doing that same thing now, you'll be able to correct the person and say, no, don't plug it to light. It's very important. You need to know what your camera can take, the power it can take. I said something about Blackmagic 4K now. That one, you can plug it to light. If you like, bring gen from your state office, direct power to this place. You can plug it, but a camera like Sony, you can't do that. Camera like Lumix, you can't do that. It's going to blow up the IC, what they call it, the panel or something like that. So those ones you can plug it to a power bank. And battery for that. There's some camcorders that uses a direct vlog battery, and there's this other battery, I've forgotten the name. It has 2 pin, the one we use for light. Those ones to last long. So those are what you consider when you're getting a camera. I've mentioned 3 things, right? Then the next thing is going to be, is the camera going to be dedicated to live streaming, or is it going to serve both live streaming and recording purposes? Most of the times when people come to meet me, Certified, my church wants to buy a camera. It always sounds weird when I ask them, what is the purpose of this camera? Is it specifically for live streaming alone, or do you still plan on doing recording content? Do you plan on having short skits, or maybe you just want to record an announcement? Do you plan on doing that with the camera? Those are the questions I always ask people, and they're just like, is it not camera? Camera is supposed to be able to do the same thing. But no, there are some cameras that I will recommend if only you want to live stream. Then there are also cameras I will recommend for you if I know that, okay, you want to live stream, and at the same time you want to use it subsequent times to do a video recording. For example, now if you are going to use a Blackmagic or Mini to live stream, you are going to get a perfect and good color quality, output and everything. But when you use it to record, you are going to have a very, very high storage. Now, someone like a church like this that wants to do like a skit recording, or maybe your normal welcome to church recording or invite for next week Sunday, you don't necessarily need a Blackmagic camera. Why not just go for Sony cameras? But if you are looking at, okay, you want to build your live streaming arsenal, you are looking at the future that is just live streaming you want to focus on for now, then yes, you can go for that kind of cameras. You can go for Blackmagic. But if you are looking at doing the both, Sony cameras are what? They are more preferable for that. So the next thing we want to look at again is how well does this camera work under low light? Another very important thing, because not all churches really understand how lightning affects the quality of the video. For example, right now I came in here and I noticed that we have these two lights facing the altar, but there's no light facing here. Do you think it's just a coincidence? Or do you think that they don't have extra lights to put at the back? Or do you think that they could have just left one here, the other one and face back? But see, they left the two lights here, what? Facing the what? The altar. Why? Because they know that the altar needs what? A key light. So those little things. Now, if you're going to get a camera for this place now, with this, I think that even though you can still add more to this shot, but at least for now, this is fair. So this now, if you're going to set your camera, you will not really have too much issue with lightning. But let's assume that these lights were not here now, and you have a camera that is not good in low light. What kind of quality do you think you get? And the funny thing about live streaming is that the quality you are getting from the camera is going directly to the live stream. It's not like you can go and do a post production. There is no you're editing. Now, yes, you can even collaborate, you can edit on live stream, but trust me, there is nothing like you are done with the live streaming, you have to go and edit the live stream. So always make sure that whatever is going live is what? It's a perfect and what? A good quality. So to get that, to get quality, to get a good quality under a low light, you need cameras that can handle low light like this. Cameras like Sony camera, Sony A7 IV, Sony FX6, FX3. Those are low light cameras that even if the light is as small as a bulb like this, as long as there is light, you can see. Okay, so does the camera come with a full HDMI port, a mini HDMI port, or is it an SDI based camera? This is another important question that you need to ask before you get the camera. And the reason being that if you're going to buy a camera that is SDI based and the mixer that you plan on getting is an HDMI mixer, you have just made things a little bit complicated for yourself. Also, if you're going to get cameras and the cameras are cameras that would require you to get converters like mini HDMI to the full HDMI, you need to be aware of that also. If you are going to get cameras that they support only HDMI, you know that your mixer has to be what? HDMI based mixer. Yes, there are converters that you can use, but I'm of the opinion of why stress yourself when there's a direct road. It's like you knowing that this road like this, from here to here leads to this place, then you now go. And if you are someone like me that don't like stress, just go direct. HDMI, HDMI, SDI, SDI. Even though there are some times that that warrants you to do some converting and all that, but trust me, always try to go straight for what? For a direct connection between your camera and what? Your mixer. It helps. It's there's and even for latency, there's what they call the latency delay during a live stream. Converting your camera converting your feed from HDMI to SDI, I think you have about 0 point something delay with just doing that. If you are familiar with transmitters, same thing with transmitters. If you are using a wireless transmitter, there's also like a delay. So to minimize the delay, just look for what? A direct connection between your camera and your video mixer. So now we've spoke about the first thing that you need to get if you plan on setting up a live stream, which is the camera.